So I work with a client inside my inner circle who's a coach, and the system that we've helped her build allows her to close $2,000 to $5,000 sales using a Google Doc and a 15-minute Zoom call, okay? What I want to walk through with you in this video is all of the components that go into making that happen, and then within each of the components, how they work and how they build on each other to ultimately allow her to close these deals with just a quick Zoom call at the end. And she's only getting on the phone with people who already have all the information about the program. They know the price, they know exactly who it's for, and that last little call is just to enroll, answer any final questions, and get the deal done, okay? If you're a coach, if you sell courses, if you're a mentor, if you're a consultant, and that sounds like something that would be beneficial to you, stick with me through this entire video, and then you can go and take the relevant parts and implement it into your business, okay? I'm going to jump into the computer. We're going to walk through the entire model and break it all down for you. Before we do that, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you get any value from this video in particular, give it a like. Check out all the links in the description. You can head over to my website. You'll be able to join our private community. You'll be able to see how we can work together. We run a few different mastermind programs for affiliate marketers, coaches, consultants, folks in that space who want to grow their business. You can find all that information at jacobcaris.com. But with all that out of the way, let's jump into the computer, break this all down for you so we can get you closing some deals, shortening up those sales calls from the normal 45-minute strategy session type thing, 15-minute calls, have you knocking in those sales real quick. Let's do it. All right, folks, let's get into it. I've got my yuzu soda here. Delicious if you haven't tried them. Let's knock this out of the park. All right. So like I said off the top, this is the model that I helped a client implement, and it allows her to close 2K to 5K sales. Currently, they're her packages. This will grow to 7.5, 10, 15 over time as we build out new packages on the back end, as we increase the price of the current packages. This model won't really change. Okay, and I want to point out some really cool components to this, and I want to explain to you how it all works. All right, that was my phone going off. I apologize for that. I want to explain to you how it all works. All right, so let's go left to right, break this down, and I want you to be able to see how one thing leads to another. Okay, so we start with the left with these yellow boxes, all right? Here we're generating traffic, okay? For this client in particular, she uses TikTok, her Facebook profile, and word of mouth will continue to grow every single day. And I want to touch back on that at the end because as you can see, it compounds. And I want to explain that, how that all comes to be. All right. But essentially, she's creating content and working with clients who are then referring her more clients because she does a good job to generate traffic, attention, eyeballs. Okay. She's big on TikTok. She uses her profile. So she's got two different types of, content and organic marketing generating her traffic. TikTok is more of the, potentially can go viral, all those kind of things. Whereas Facebook is more, it's you can add friends and it's a lot more limited, more of a kind of quality over quantity approach as you're building out the audience there. You also get a lot of overflow onto your profile from your Facebook group, which we're going to talk about next. But these are her traffic sources, okay? That plus the word of mouth. All of these point to her Facebook group. Okay, the Facebook group is set up as what we call a nurturing hub. Okay, nurturing hub is a place where you bring all of the people that are in your audience and you usher them all to a central place, right? Like we run a group, we run an email list. They're our nurturing hubs. They're that next step for people who watch videos like this, for people who come to my Facebook profile, for people who land on our website. Right? They're that next step of, hey, what this person's talking about is interesting to me. I think this might be able to be helpful. I like their style. I like what they've got to say. Why don't I take that next step and find out a little bit more by joining the private community? Okay, so that's where the group kicks in for this client in particular. Right now, I made some notes here just so that we can kind of dive into them along the way. Okay, so once these people are in the group, what they're exposed to is frequent written and live content. And the goal of that is to build relationships with the members of that community at scale. Okay, the new members that are coming in and the existing members. Okay, the goal of this content, as I said, build relationships with all those people, but ultimately it's to pre-frame the next step of the process, which is the DM chat. Okay, so this is where the sales process kicks in. So what we need to do before the sales process, as the name suggests, is pre-sell people. Okay, pre-selling is kind of another way of saying marketing, and it's effectively strategically deploying content that touches on certain points such that you're almost ticking off this checklist in your prospect's head so that they come to a point where your content has created such a compelling case through all of the stuff that they've watched, and it starts out here, right? Starts on the profile, starts with TikTok, starts with when they get referred to you by somebody else, and then it kicks up a notch when they join your communities or your email lists. But we're effectively pre-selling them on some key points, right? One is their problems and challenges, okay? And that may sound silly, but a lot of people are actually unclear on what their actual problem is. So if we can provide people with clarity on the challenges that they're going through and show them by actually demonstrating our ability that we understand what they're going through, that's that first big checkbox, right? Our ability to, with a lot of specificity, describe the challenges that they're facing with a little like mind movie in our copy or on a Facebook Live or in a video, that's what's going to get their attention. Because if you can describe an exact situation that somebody's going through, their ears are going to prick up. They're naturally going to be drawn to you because you're demonstrating that you understand through the raw specificity of your content, okay? So that's the first thing, is the pains and the problems and the challenges. Once we've got their attention with that, we want to talk about our plan to help them move away from that and achieve their goals, okay? Our plan to help them move away from that and achieve their goals, right? And we need to explain how that plan is different from what they're doing now, from what they've tried in the past, from what the rest of the market is talking about. How is our plan unique? How does our plan help them overcome their current challenges? How does our plan eliminate things that they don't want to do? Okay, we talk about all of this in our content. If we can get someone sold on the fact that we understand their challenges and their problems, and we've got a clear plan that's different from what they've tried before or is different from what they're doing now, we are a hell of a long way to making that sale. Okay. The third major one that we want to pre-sell them on is us, is you, right? The person behind the brand. Okay. And this includes our philosophies. This includes our values. This includes our views of the world, be it business or otherwise. This includes our personality, our sense of humor, what we value, what we don't value, right? Our priorities, all these kind of things. They form your brand personality, right? And we need to sell people on that. Okay, that doesn't mean that we want to convince everybody to work with us, but we want to sell the people that are aligned to us, okay? And we want to repel the people who aren't. There's a push-pull mechanism going on here, right? There's some more depth to it, but they're the major three. If we can tick those boxes in our content, in our group, and even before that, right? In our TikTok videos, in our profile, in our YouTube videos, in the word of mouth when other people are referring us, if we can pre-sell them on those factors, then they reach out for a DM chat. So much of the heavy lifting has been done already. And it's really what you're starting to see now is how one thing stacks onto another. That's how we can eliminate long sales calls. That's how we can eliminate long webinars. That's how we can eliminate the need for a big team of setters and closers in this like hardcore selling mentality that a lot of people they get stuck into online. It's the ability to pre-sell people, which will take a lot of the heavy lifting off your sales process. Okay. So then what naturally happens is DM chats are generated. Okay. These can happen in one of two ways. Either a prospect from the Facebook group can send an inbound message, right? And sometimes that's more than enough. But if you want to juice up volume, you can outbound people in the Facebook group, okay? The group's great because you can tell who's watching your lives, who's interacting with your posts, who's checking out your videos, who's really engaged, asking questions, going back and forth. You can see new members that are coming in. You can ask new members questions. You can ask them if they want you to reach out, right? You've got a lot of flexibility with this tool. And so we can either, sit and wait for people to reach out to us. And if we've got enough volume from that, that's what we'll do. But if we don't have quite enough volume from that, we can bump it up by going out to the audience. Okay. Now those people may not be quite as ready yet because they haven't reached out on their own accord. And one of a couple of things can happen. One, they may not be ready at all, in which case they stay in the group, they keep rocking along until they are ready, right? They may not quite be ready, but through a bit of one-to-one attention, we can drag them further along quicker, right? Or we might reach out to them and they just haven't reached out yet and they are ready. Happens more times than you would expect, okay? So now we end up in a DM chat. Right, this is a pretty standard flow if you've done any one-to-one sales, be it on the phone or in Messenger or over text or anything. Typically, this conversation, in some way, shape, or form, is going to be about their current situation, challenges, goals, why they think they can't get there on their own, and are they open to getting help? Okay, a little bit of an optional bonus one here if you want to bring budget and investment into the conversation is asking them, what's it worth to them? Right, so if their goal is X, is this worth blank investment to you, right? You'll start to get a feel for, are they in the ballpark of what the investment is for your offer, right? So then based on this conversation, if all things line up, they're open to help, it's within their budget, all that kind of stuff, we've created a doc for this client in particular. And if you and I end up working together, we can do the same for you. If this model is attractive to you, we create a doc that outlines the offer backstory, how it came to be, the individual's experience, all of those kind of things, why they're credible, why they can actually help with this thing, who the offer is for, who the offer isn't for, the game plan, right? Which we've actually done a lot of pre-selling on back in the nurturing phase, so they're going to be familiar with this. What's included in the offer, right? The deliverables, the support, the course components, any community elements, all that kind of stuff, the investment, and the next steps. We just put the facts in front of them in the offer. And because of the conversation we've had and because of the pre-selling that's happened all before, it's all they need. Okay? Then a certain percentage of people are going to see it and they're going to go, yep, that's awesome. That's for me. I want to move forward. And a certain percentage of people are going to go, no, thank you. And that may not mean no, never. It might just mean no, not right now. And then those people drop back into the nurturing cycle and we can try again at another time. Okay? Then for the people who decide that they want to move forward, they book a 15-minute call. Okay. Now, with a lot of our clients, we just close directly after they read this document. But for this client in particular, she wanted that extra layer of actually being able to talk to everybody in person that was coming into her world. As she continues to scale more, she's either going to have to eliminate this or she can have somebody come in who she trusts and can do this on her behalf, right? But that's easy to change. Once you've got the offer dialed in, this isn't required. It's just that this is how she likes to do it. Okay. She really likes to make sure that 100% this is a person that she wants to work with, okay? The difference between these 15-minute, what we call seal the deal calls and like a typical 45-minute strategy session is a strategy session is what I call a problem-centric call, whereas this is a product-specific or a product-centric call, okay? Because they've seen the document, they've got all the information about the product, that's what the call is about, as opposed to the model most people are running, which is these longer calls where people are way further back, right? They haven't been pre-sold. They haven't consumed a bunch of content. They haven't been referred. They don't really know who you are, what you do, all that kind of stuff. It hasn't been done in the content. That all has to happen on the call, which is why the calls are longer, which is why the calls are starting further back at the problem, which we were talking about in our content back in our Facebook group, okay? So hopefully you're starting to see the distinction. What we're doing at scale through our content, most people are trying to do one-to-one on a call, all right? And that does not have leverage. Some people will argue and say, yeah, but you can just build a big team. Kind of, but then your time is spent managing that team. So you, as an individual, still don't have leverage in your time because you've got to manage them. Or you've then got to bring a manager in. And this is where costs start to stack up. Okay, so this is a different model. We're front loading a lot of what usually happens on the call through our content, which means that we can build those relationships at scale and we can pre-sell at scale, which gives us a lot of leverage. It then also makes the sales process way, way, way easier, okay? So these calls are product specific, right? We're there to really do two things. One, are there any final questions that they have? And two, enroll them, assuming that we actually want to work with them, right? If there's a reason that we don't, once we get on the call, we can just tell them that, and that's fine. That might be they need to go and do something first, or it may be, look, we just don't hit it off and I don't think I can help you. We're not aligned on something, right? Ethically or whatever. And then they become a new client. And that's how the process works. And this is the machine that she's building that's compounding, like I've said here, every single day. Okay, she's got more content assets out there working. She's got more content in her Facebook group, which is adding new people to her pipeline every day, which is generating new people who can see the doc, which is filling up the calendar with these seal the deal calls. These people then become new clients. They have a good experience. They get results. They talk about her, and then more people come and look for her because of the experience that they've heard she can give, the results she can help people achieve, the problems she's helped people overcome. And that's how you create a machine that compounds back on itself, okay? This is just one version that we've helped a client build who in particular wanted to be able to do these calls, and we've helped them shorten right up that call process because of what's happening out here, all right? You get leverage, you're doing a lot of that pre-selling. This document gets all the facts on the table. It's incredibly direct. There's no kind of beating around the bush, straight to the point. Is this something you want to do or not? Okay. Hopefully there's something in there that you can take and deploy in your own business, right? You can get in touch with me and the team. There'll be links in the description. You can join our private community. You can check out our masterminds that are listed on the website. If you're interested in working together and building something like this, we can tailor it to your situation, right? We can help you really make it fit for what it is that you want to do and the type of business that you want to run, so that it's enjoyable, so that you attract the type of clients that you want, so you can charge what you want, all that kind of stuff. All right. Hopefully you got some value out of that one. Take whatever it is out of this that's relevant to you and go and use it. And I think you'll really enjoy the benefits of deploying a system like this. Okay. Appreciate you hanging out with me today. Give the video a like, subscribe, check out the links, all that kind of good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.